Obama what? Obviously, Aubameyang is not the answer to Chelsea's chronic problems up front. Obviously, there are better alternatives available for Chelsea. Obviously, a long-term strategy isn't benefited by signing Aubameyang. But do you know what? This isn't actually about Aubameyang. He is a player that I rate. He is a player that has scored goals, and he is a player that would definitely add to Chelsea's attack. This is about Chelsea. This is about the ridiculous scattergun approach to Chelsea transfers. This is about the lack of strategy. This is about the lack of ambition. This is about the lack of an overarching ambition. This is just haywire. And this is the issue. Todd Boehly is a man who has never worked in European sport before in his life. He has made himself interim sporting director. A sporting director at a football club is so imperative, so important. It is the zenith of what you can do for a club. One of the most important positions in world sport. He's never worked in European sport before in his life, and he has put himself in this position. And therefore, Chelsea's lacklustre window, Chelsea's lack of definitive targets, Chelsea's scattergun approach is all linked to that. How on earth is Aubameyang the answer now? The season starts tomorrow. And yet, Chelsea are now thinking Aubameyang is the answer. As I feel I need to do, I'm going to reiterate, this isn't about Aubameyang. I rate him. This is about Chelsea. Have Chelsea been dreaming of Aubameyang leading the line for the past 6 months? Have Chelsea been nurturing talent that will play into Aubameyang's strengths? Have Chelsea been building a team that we think Aubameyang will be able to unlock? Or have Chelsea been buying players that are available and they think are good and hoping for the best and losing out on transfers and being a little bit lacklustre in the entire market and then see an opportunity and try and take it? Jump in for Cucurella, somebody that you've been tapping up for ages, somebody that you really think will do a job, somebody that you desperately need, or it didn't work out for City, so maybe swoop. Maybe there's a PR angle there. Maybe Chelsea have been missing out the debacle over Rafinha, the debacle over Koundé. Maybe we can spin it that we got one over Man City, despite the fact that we all know they walked away. Is it that? Aubameyang, what on earth are you doing? Also, where is the principle? Barcelona have been a thorn in our side this window. They have scuppered our window. And yet, we are about to potentially do them a favour. The £4 million pay cut that Aubameyang took to go to Barcelona is over. His salary is about to rise considerably. And therefore, Barcelona are desperate to offload. So if Chelsea sign Aubameyang, make no mistake about it, Chelsea will have been played by Barcelona again this summer. Christensen, Koundé, Rafinha. Where is the principle? Do not do this club any favours. They have not conducted themselves with any kind of nobility. They have not conducted themselves with any sort of ethic. And yet, we are now going to do them a massive favour. They desperately need rid of Aubameyang. Desperately. And we're going to give them that get-out clause. We are going to aid Barcelona's rebuilding project. We are going to be a vital cog in the new era of Barcelona. They are so desperate to sell some of their high earners, and the fact that Aubameyang's wages are going to rise means that they are trying to spin it that we can get him for a low price as if it's doing us a favour. It is so full of self-interest from Barcelona. And anyone that can't see that is so blind. It is obviously for their benefit. And then all you have to do is cast your mind back to what Aubameyang did at Arsenal. He's a player that I rate. The way that he won the FA Cup for them. Destroying Kurt Zouma in the process. He's a very talented footballer. He was definitely the best player at Arsenal. And they still wanted him out. That gives you an inkling into the kind of man that he is. That gives you a clue as to the way that he will conduct himself at Chelsea. This is such a bad idea. They stripped him of the captaincy. He had countless disciplinary issues, and Arteta actually agreed to cancel his contract. They didn't even try and get something for him. They just agreed to write it off. That's how detrimental he was to what Mikel Arteta was trying to build. I rate him. I actually think that Arteta should have tried to get more out of him because of the situation they were in. But they are the facts. Arteta decided that enough was enough and they wanted him out. His Ability isn't in question, but his character most certainly is. And I know that Thomas Tuchel has a relationship with him. I know that Thomas Tuchel rates him. And I know that Tuchel will believe that he can get the best out of him. But this is so haywire. This isn't what Chelsea have been building towards. Chelsea don't desperately want Aubameyang. Chelsea haven't been signing players that will allow Aubameyang to flourish. This is a panic buy. This is the very definition of a panic buy. We've been tapping up Cristiano Ronaldo. At one point, we were tapping up Neymar. What on earth is going on at boardroom level? What on earth is happening? Jules Koundé, a player that we were desperate for over a year, we let pass because we were so slow, because we were dithering, because we did not make it count. And now we're going to go for Aubameyang. Where is the process here? Where is the strategy? Chelsea are in a perilous situation this season. I'm incredibly worried about how this season will go. I really am. I am so nervous about what is going to happen this season. I've done my season predictions and I've got Chelsea to finish in the top 4. But I've done that partly out of blind loyalty, partly out of optimism, and partly out of sheer desire. When you look at the way that Chelsea are conducting themselves this summer, and you look at the teams that we're going to be going up against, Chelsea aren't going to get anywhere near it, are they? If you're being completely logical, nobody will think that Chelsea are going to get there. What is going on? What on earth is going on? We're desperate now for Cucurella, a player who is excellent. He's a brilliant, brilliant footballer. But we're now talking about signing him when we have Ben Chilwell. And what the response will come is, well, he can play left side of a centre-half. He can play a left-sided centre-back. Why are we going to spend 50 million quid on a player to play him out of position? Why are we going to spend 50 million quid on a player whose one of their main attributes is bombing forward? You can't do that from left centre-back. It doesn't make any sense. Where is the strategy? I'm so fearful. I really am so worried about how this season is going to go. I desperately hope they can get it right. But this is about as unoptimistic as I've been going into a season since the season where we finished 10th after that atrocious pre-season we had that year. It's a worry. But if anyone's watching this video and believes that maybe I'm overreacting or maybe there is some room for optimism, let me know. And equally, if you believe that Aubameyang would be a great signing for Chelsea, if you think that I'm missing the point here and we need a centre-forward and he would come in and do a job for us, let me know. Let me know. But I'm just so worried. Does he guarantee goals? Yes. Will he potentially rock the boat? I mean, yes. Are we set up to bring the best out of him? No. And I will ask you again for the final time. What is Chelsea's transfer strategy? Thank you so much for watching this video. Keen to hear your thoughts. Make sure you click subscribe before you go as well. In a bit.